on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD PHINS TALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Make sure that you punch that like button on your way in the building. Let your friends and family members know about the channel as well. Yes, we are live. We're going to start doing our live shows more often during the day, but stay tuned for that. Make sure you turn on those notifications, all right? But we got a good one for you right now. The Miami Dolphins might make a desperate blockbuster trade or two. We're going to talk about that and more right here on TD PHINS Talk. But before we get started, I want you to know that this stream is being powered by Sleeper. Get a $100 deposit match up to $100. Use code TD PHINS, man. Y'all been watching me play Sleeper during the games and things like that. Get in on the action, all right? Make sure that you gamble responsibly and have fun with it, man. It's one of the funnest apps that I've actually participated in. And it also has other things like sports news. It has fantasy football, which I'm 3-1 right now, so I'm doing good in my fantasy on Sleeper. So make sure you go check them out, all right? But we are going to dive right into the action, all right? First and foremost, we need to start out by understanding the state of the Miami Dolphins. This is important for us to discuss real quick, and let me explain to you why. The Miami Dolphins are in a critical state where the front office and the coaching staff, everybody's playing, coaching, fighting for their job. Everybody's fighting for their job. So something has to change. And I did a poll on X yesterday with over 100 votes. And I said, after the win, do you feel encouraged or disappointed and down on the team? Pretty much. That's what the poll was. Almost 82% of the people did not feel encouraged about the win. And I get it. I'm excited that we got a win. But, you know, when you put context behind that win and you understand that the Jets had 13 penalties, some of them suspect, they also turned the ball over 3 times and we won by 6 points and had to fight to the very end, it doesn't lift you up. It doesn't make you like, okay, now we're turning it around. Like, I actually feel like we could have lost to 25 teams in the league if we played like we did. But a lot of people, all they do is see the win and think about all the good things. This team, they're still having a lot of issues. And with that being said, Mike McDaniel knows he might be in trouble. Chris Greer knows this whole thing might be in trouble. And to add insult to injury, you lose Tyreek Hill, your best weapon, the guy who dictates defense, you know, forces defenses to adhere to, you know, him. you no longer have that secret weapon, this thing can go south quick moving forward. This is why I believe that the Miami Dolphins might make a desperate blockbuster trade. And it's just like the Houston Texans before their whole coaching staff and front office got fired. They made a desperate trade. Now, it was a good trade, but it was still desperate when they traded with the Miami Dolphins for Laramie Tunsil. And I see Chris Grier in the same situation that the Texans were in. Screw the future. We won't have a future if we don't fix the now. And I look at this roster, and there is no fixing this roster. You have to actually go out and do something shocking to fix this roster. And there's two positions in particular that I truly believe that the Miami Dolphins can shock us all, and they can make a move within the next few weeks. Position number one, obviously, wide receiver. With Tyreek Hill going down, I'm not sure that Waddle can handle the brunt of the responsibility. We're not going to sit here and act like the rest of the receiving core can really make up for a Tyreek loss. It's not, I mean, they can be productive and help, but you will not make up for a Tyreek Hill. There is no such thing as making up for a Tyreek Hill, unless you go get another elite receiver. So wide receiver is number one. And number two has been the most disappointing unit this season. The most important, most underwhelming unit this season, the pass rush. Those are two positions that the Miami Dolphins could go out and make a blockbuster splash right now. Let's start out with the wide receiver. What wide receiver in the NFL that if you offer the right price, that is a great receiver, not just a good one, another solid one, or a number two, a number one receiver in the NFL right now, that if the price was worth it, a team may say, you know what? Let's do it. Any receivers you have in mind, make sure you put it in the chat. But I'm going to expose it now. A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown. The Miami Dolphins give the right price. I mean, Philly's winning with A.J. Brown getting 20, 30, and 40 yards every week. Literally. A.J. Brown is the guy that if you offer the right price, you might can entice Philly to send them over. Now, I already know everybody in the comments say, if Eagles ain't getting rid of A.J. Brown, man, we've seen crazier things. Don't do that to yourself. If I would have told you the year we traded for Tyreek, we need to go get Tyreek, y'all would have said the same thing because they were having contract disputes. The Chiefs ain't trading Tyreek. They're going to figure it out. That's what y'all would have said. So don't look at it that way. A.J. Brown is the guy that to save Chris Grier's job, and I don't know if it's going to save their job, but to try to save these guys' job, that's your first target. Like, how would that feel if tomorrow, breaking news, Dolphins trade a future whatever for A.J. Brown? Because what I'm trying to help people understand is they might have to do something drastic to save their job. They don't care about the future. The only people that can stop them are the president and those guys in the building. No, we're not going to allow that trade. We're not going to let you leverage our future. But if I'm the Miami Dolphins, you got to be considering this to try to have some kind of desperate hope. And I could see that happening. I could see the Dolphins being so enticing to where they say, we going to offer you a second round pick. We're going to offer you a second round pick, and we might even throw in a conditional sixth. And I know they're going to be, man, who's going to be able to afford that contract? Tyreek ain't going to be on the roster next year. It's highly unlikely. Money's still going to start. Chubb ain't going to be on this roster next year. Money going to start hopefully clearing up. You restructure that deal, extend it, back end it, because you might even be looking for a rookie contract quarterback in 2 years, so it can work. Now, if you keep him to a long term, it may not, but it could work if you're going to be potentially changing the quarterback in 2 years. A big cap relief in 2 years, and you just push all that money to the back end. I can see it happening. Some of y'all not for a second. I am telling y'all now, beggars can't be choosers. You finna get fired. You're not going to have a first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh rounder to play with next year if you don't do something drastic. Y'all worried about, yeah, but not for this, not for that. Look at the title. They might make a desperate blockbuster trade. Any trade made in desperation, you're going to lose on value, but you're trying to save something. I'm just saying, remember this now. Because otherwise, these guys are about to get, man, the tough truth that nobody want to talk about. These guys about to get fired. If maybe Ross says, I'm going to let y'all finish out the year, but I'm telling y'all now, I don't see us winning more than 7 games if we keep playing like this. Hey, we can play like we played against the Jets every week, and I don't see us winning more than 7 games. And somebody got to be held accountable for that. Somebody got to get fired. Who is that going to be? Who is it going to be? Like I don't see, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this would be the biggest debacle of all time if Stephen Ross just popped up and said, you know what, I'm gonna give Greer and McDaniel 1 more year. Wow. Like we are really a joke. If we don't win more than 7 games and he give them yet another year, we are a joke. And I made this point on Dolphins Roundtable last night. I said, we have been in this territory. This roster we have now, to me, is the equivalence of the Flores roster, if not better. So, shouldn't we do better than Flores did? With the bad roster, Flores never lost less than 9 games, right? Except the rookie year, but nobody count that. We stripped the whole thing. But those other 2 years, this is close to the equivalence of the Flores roster, but it actually has more. To me, it has better O-line pieces, which they pointed out last night. And I think the overall receiving core, I don't know, but the tight end is better slightly. And the pass rush is definitely better. Yes, Dolphins collective. So we've seen this before. So why wouldn't we be a better team winning at least 9 games? And that's going to be the test. Your roster is better than the one that Flores had. It should be better results, right? Because forever everybody threw out there, oh, well, Brian Flores might have had the same record, but McDaniel went to the playoffs, though. And I said going to the playoffs was just a product of a weak conference. Oh, you're just hating. Okay, now we have a closer even playing field, which McDaniel still has the advantage, and a more developed tour, as everybody keeps saying. Why wouldn't we get to 10 wins? Why wouldn't we get to 10 wins? We have to get to 10 wins for even any of that to be considered, because if we don't, it is a massive failure. Do not win 7 games or less, 8 games or less. 9, we can debate it, but 8 games or less, you cannot sit here and tell me Mike McDaniel is actually a good coach. If this year we win 8 games or less, you can, well, last year we won 8 games. See, you can't tell me. See, this is where I start to get into the point of, Well, I don't know, because we out here talk about Brian Flores is a terrible head coach. But Mike McDaniel, if you already look at last year. What was the excuse? Injuries? Even with injuries, was it not a better roster than what Flores had? Now, I see a lot of y'all 10 wins. Stop smoking that. Unless you're saying we're not winning 10, but I see some people in the chat saying we'll win at least 10. Like, I don't know what y'all watching. I don't know what you're watching. You know, and I said this on the collective as well, the Dolphins collective last night. I actually hate games like the one that we just played because it gets people in their delusional bag. It gets people thinking that we actually did something good last night. Playing against literally a top 3 worst defense in the NFL and still somewhat struggle, we think we did something. Oh, but A-Chain went off. Everybody going off on the Jets. R27 was the least amount of points that was ever scored on them. Their other 3 games, all of them score more than us. We really think we did something. That's why I hate games like that. They give you false hope. It's like beating the Saints like that, and we still think, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The Jets secondary has been one of the worst in the NFL this year. For markers that say passing game, TD, the Jets secondary been one of the worst this year. One of the worst. Like, people really think that that's how we're supposed to play like we did last night. Like, really? This is why we do what we do. When we beat up on the bad teams, we think that we're something. This is why we keep getting stuck in this delusion, and people look at people like me and say, yeah, but why you got to be all negative? No, I'm just being honest. Why can't you just accept that what I'm peddling out to you ends up being, man, you know what? You're right. You're right. That's what it comes down to, man. We do not have a good team. Oh, but Darren Waller went off. The man had less than 30 yards. He just caught 2 passes in the end zone because he's taller than everybody. Now that Tyreek is gone, everybody going to game plan for that. That's why you need to. And I'm not an advocate to go get A.J. Brown. I'm an advocate for save everything for the future. But I'm telling you, the Miami Dolphins might make a desperate blockbuster trade. They might make a desperate trade. They're going to be like, screw the future. I mean, we ain't got one if we don't do something. So, hey, if the next GM ain't starting out in the hole, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That could very well happen. And only the front office can stop it. And not the general manager front office. I'm talking about the execs. Watch how Waller not even used on Sunday. No. They're going to use Waller. They're going to try to force feed it to him, putting the ball high. Well, trust me. They think they feel like they have something there. So they're going to try to exploit it, but teams are going to recognize Tyreek ain't here no more. We ain't got to be scared. Single high. If Waddle beat us deep, okay, we'll live with that. But single high, and we'll shade the safety to Waddle side every time and let everybody else beat us, and let's make sure we take away the middle. Don't let Waller get these easy ones. So A-Chain catching the ball out of the backfield, Malik Washington, those guys going to have to be the catalyst. They're going to have to be the guys leading the front. And teams going to bet on that. It's going to be a whole lot more dinking and dunking. That's going to be the reality. But let's move forward. Because we talked about wide receiver being one position. Now we got to talk about the edge rusher. Now we got to talk about the Dolphins getting the pass rush. And there's one guy that right now I think they need to go after, because at the end of the day, he doesn't have a long-term deal. He got some money to satisfy him just for this year, but they haven't really worked out the long terms. And the Dolphins might have an opportunity to bring him in now and work on a long-term deal for him, because he's still going to be good for several years to come. And y'all put in the chat, who would you want the Dolphins to go pursue as a pass rusher? But I'm going to go ahead and give you mine now. The desperate blockbuster trade that they may make is Aiden Hutchinson. You go call the Lions, or you go call the Bengals, like I say, the guy that got the temporary money. Hutchinson or Hendrickson. Either one. You're crazy, right? Yeah, I'm crazy. But for the right price, throw some. Do y'all see what's happening with our pass rush right now? And you're more likely to call the Bengals and get it done. You're more likely to call the Bengals and get it done. Which I actually saw something on that. Let me see something. Let me get this for y'all. Yeah, so they could call, and again, Hutchinson, that's a pipe dream, but Hendrickson, you got to call the Bengals, because it looks like they're screwing up and their season's in trouble. Their season's in trouble with the Burrow injury. You might want to call them now and offer a nice little haul. Now, I see people in the chat, TD, you want to give up 2 first-round picks and more for the guy? Look at the title. I don't want to do none of this. I started this stream. Some of y'all came in here late, but I started this stream prefacing what I'm talking about. The Miami Dolphins might make desperate blockbuster trade. And I educated you on why they may do it. I don't want to do none of this, but we got a desperate front office. They got to save their job. This ain't got nothing to do with me. Don't say, oh, this guy is a joke. Why would you do that? That's a bad. I don't want to do it. I am telling you what this team could do to try to save the season and try to save their job. This ain't a TD is advocating thing. But if you go out there and spend our future, this is what you better do. This is what you better do. So do not, that's part of the problem, is communication. It's communication. Do not misconstrued where I'm coming from in this. It's the same thing the Texans did when they traded with us for Laramie Tunsil. They tried to save their job, and it still didn't work. But look, now, they had to go years without the draft capital that they would have had. Now, lucky them, they turned it around sooner than us. It's crazy. Maybe it's just a Dolphin thing. Title should be stupid blockbuster trade. I agree. But I'm just telling you, Miami Dolphins might make a desperate. At least I did. Let me ask y'all a question. Real talk, feedback for me, right? Anything wrong with the title? Isn't it spot on from what I'm delivering right now? Miami Dolphins might make a desperate blockbuster trade. And I'm outlining the reason. Just curious. Is something wrong with it? I'm at least giving detailed reasons why and a corroborating example with the Texans. And I just want to know. Just want to know. Nothing wrong with the title. Okay. All right. But yeah, This is what I am worried about this because it could happen quickly. It could happen quickly. Somebody said title equals clickbait. Is it that good? Is it that good of a title that you see it as clickbait? Clickbait would be Miami Dolphins about to make a desperate blockbuster move. That's clickbait. Miami Dolphins about to make a desperate blockbuster move. I literally put in there, Miami Dolphins might make a desperate blockbuster move. That might. See, some people, and what I've learned in today's world, some people will remove one word to give themselves a narrative. They'll like some people literally read this Miami Dolphins make desperate blockbuster move. They just like the word might didn't even register to them. Didn't even register. And then say it's clickbait. Like y'all got to do better, man. Some of y'all got to do better. You really do. You really do. I am hearing Chris Olave. See, but you know what that wouldn't be bad either. Another co-pilot with Waddle. But again, I'm telling you, the Dolphins could very well make some type of trade, giving up some capital. I seen the title and clicked on it fast as heck. Thinking TD has some insider knowledge. LOL. No, let me tell y'all something, man. No, I wouldn't say that. Insider knowledge. I get rare insider knowledge. I'm not one of these guys that get a phone call every day talking about all the behind the scenes politics and the details. I get a twice a month, hey man, this is something that's happening right now, or this and that. That's what I get. And most of the times it's spot on, but I also can't even discuss it. I may come live and say, hey, this is a possibility, but I don't even discuss it. So no, I don't do that, sources and all that. But the people that I do talk to that is in the know, in the know, more than a lot of other people. Yeah, they feed me a lot of stuff that I do hear ahead of time, but usually it's stuff I can't even discuss. And there's reasons why you can't discuss it. And it's not from you're not allowed to, but you want to protect the integrity of other people. So yeah, I don't get into all of that. So don't think anytime I'm just insider information. Now, very so often, like once a year, they might be like, hey, you can actually talk about that because it's about to drop, stuff like that. But I want to see Taj get some reps. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Malik Washington, Taj Washington, and whoever else on the back end of the roster, they are certified number 3s at best. You do not have a number 2 wide receiver on this roster. Tyreek was a 1A. Waddle is a low-end 1B. Now Waddle has to be a 1A. And first of all, he got shoes to fill to do that. But we got to stop. I understand the skill sets of some of these guys, their speed, their agility, but at best, they are certified number 3s. Trust me, you never want to rely on Taj Washington and Malik Washington to be the guys that's going to get you 70 yards a game as a number 2 in any given week. They're going to play their role in the offense, do they end arounds, catch 2 to 3 footballs a game, and say thank you for your 35-yard passing contribution and your 26-yard rushing end around contribution on occasional weeks. Call it what it is, because it's hard out there for guys who haven't made a name for themselves to get calls that go their way. Corners are more likely to put their hands on them and be physical. They're not going to get those calls. So to dig yourself out of that number 4, number 3 range, and people start saying, you know what, he's a solid number 2. Actually, he actually has developed this game. It's a fight, and it takes a while for people to start saying, like put it like this: Jordan Addison with the Vikings. He's a perfect example. Nobody expected him to be a number 1. You don't even really expect him to be a number 2, but how he performed when he hit the scene. Nobody don't see him as a certified 2. Nobody views him as not being a certified 2. He is a certified 2. And guess what? He could be a low end 1. So that's how it works, man. TD, don't forget Waddle set the reception record his first year. Waddle can definitely be a number 1. Again, I'm not disputing Waddle being a 1. He's a low end 1. Okay, you caught a lot of passes that went 4 and 5 yards. Okay. You had a whole bunch of receptions. Okay. He is a 1. He's just a low end 1. That's all. Like y'all tripping if you think that Waddle belongs in the conversation with Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae. Like, no, stop kidding yourself. And don't get me started on all that, because for some, this is part of our problem as a fan base. If you wear a Dolphins jersey, you get a 30% kicker no matter what. If you wear a Dolphins jersey, we're going to give you a 30% kicker. Some of y'all look at Jalen Phillips. I mean, he that close to being Bosa. Like, that, they're going to kick her. Like, that's what we do. If you wear the Dolphins jersey, man, A-Chain, I mean, he just as good as Derrick Henry, you ask me. 30% kicker. That's what y'all do. I mean, what has Lamar really done that Tua hasn't? 30% kicker. This is what we do as a fan of the Dolphins. You automatically elevate them up in a realm that they ain't in because you're a Dolphin fan. That don't fly over here. I'm being realistic. We having realistic conversations. Realistic conversations only. Just saying. But yeah, and again, to your point, he is a number 1. I'm just telling you, he's a low end number 1. Receptions don't make you a number 1. Before Reek became a Dolphin, Waddle was the man. Yeah, for sure. He was definitely better than he is now. But even at that level, it wasn't Reek's level. It wasn't Justin Jefferson level. It wasn't Jamar Chase level. Even with all that. Some of y'all saying, I missed the beginning. What's the trade? Go to just rewind the video and just watch, man. I mean, I outlined it all. And again, read the title. It's very clear. Miami Dolphins might make desperate blockbuster trade, and I explain why. A lot of y'all coming in right now say you just got here. There go Donovan hating, talk about it's clickbait at TD Fraud Talk. Donovan can't read. He done done well with comprehension. I'm gonna start. You know what? I'm gonna start calling some of y'all out. If you're gonna be in the comment section trying to get other people to hate with you, I'm gonna start calling you out. Donovan, you need to go make sure you tighten up, freshen up on reading comprehension. What's clickbaity about saying the Miami Dolphins might make desperate blockbuster trade? If you watch the video from the beginning to end, I literally give specific facts and reasons why that are justified. And you yourself, if you go back and watch, Donovan, because I know you ain't coming here from the beginning. You just coming in here to say that. Because if you go back from the beginning to watch, you'll literally tell yourself, man, I could see that actually happen. You make a good point, and you give examples of teams that have done this in the same situation. I said, TD, you spazzing. I ain't spazzing. I just like calling out ignorance sometimes because I really don't like people around me that's live in ignorance. You try to live, like, it's one thing to be ignorant. We all ignorant to certain stuff. But if you live in it, like, I'm that type of person, like, if we friends and we hanging out and I'm talking to you and I'm saying something to you that you don't understand, because I used to do this and I had to grow up from it. Like, people, like, it's all about education. So I would be around somebody, they be having a high level conversation. So instead of telling that person, hey, I've never heard of that term, I don't understand it, can you explain? I'll just shake my head. Yeah, like, wow, yeah. I don't even understand what they're talking about. Those are the people that live in their ignorance. And I can't hang around people like that because they'll stunt your developmental growth. They really will. And I was like that. So I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying this now for people because I might inspire somebody to actually say, you know what, I'm going to take that approach. And I told y'all this story in the past before because I worked in corporate America. I was moving up the ladder, supervisor, manager in a Fortune 500 company, and I was doing very well. But I was ignorant to a lot of things. So sometimes I realized I would use words out of its meaning and didn't even know. Like, I remember I was a supervisor on the floor, and I like, this is going to be embarrassing to say it, but I love using it as an example because this was me. And it's a reflection of where I come from and everything, in my opinion, but I grew from this. I literally looked at one of my employees and I said to him, because we were all laughing and joking, and they made a joke, and I literally looked at him and I said, man, you're so gullible. I literally said, you're so gullible. And while I'm laughing, and everybody around me was like, did you just call her gullible? And here I am making assumptions in my brain due to lack of education, right? Thinking that gullible meant what it sound like. Like, this true story. Gullible. So, like, cute and funny, like gullible. I don't know why my brain told me that, but that's what I'm thinking the word means. And I literally look them in their face and say, you're so gullible. And when another supervisor said, you just call her gullible? I said, yeah, what's wrong? She said, do you know what that means? I said, okay, what does it mean? And she literally said, it means that, you believe anything, or you're easily swayed. I'm like, I look it up, I'm like, oh my God. But from that moment on, I'm not going to be in a conversation and just hear words and and start to try to assume the context of what it means and shake my head and be like that. No. Now, if I'm ever in a conversation and I hear a word I don't know, hey, what does that mean? Or I at least look it up myself. Some of us won't even do that. Like, ever since that moment, I would go around people and I would talk to them. And I know that look on people's face when they really don't know, but they're agreeing. I say, hey, what did I just say? And they'll repeat it verbatim for word. And I say, what does that word mean? They don't even know. I knew you were just agreeing. But this is what I can't take. You don't even want to go try to find out what it means. Oh, I didn't know what it means. Yeah, you got me. All right. And from that moment, what do? Move forward. Still living your ignorance. I can't rock with. I can't. I got to keep them people away from me because it stunts my development as a person and growth. To be able to go in any room and be able to have a high level conversation and be able to relate and really talk. I realized that in life, I have to be better at stuff like this. I was a juvenile corrections officer while I was in college, and a little kid taught me a word. Facetious. I use that a lot because I love it because of that moment. I still remember I was sitting there and these kids, they locked up, so they were a problem. But this, little smart kid, man, like, he's always smart, always talking high level words with the staff. And this kid is literally like, well, I'm not being like one of my fellow corrections officers was like, oh, you want to be funny. I'm not being facetious. He clapped back. I'm not being facetious. And I never forget my coworker was like, what? What'd you say? Like, didn't even understand. And I remember like that was I kept that word in my mind, facetious. And I went and looked it up and I was like, wow, sarcastically funny. Okay. So this is the stuff I'm talking about. So when I make a title like this, people will read it and don't even comprehend the basic. And not everybody know what every word I put on there is, but they won't even comprehend it. Or they won't go back to check the video to see if it's actually clickbait. The Miami Dolphins might, for those who just came in the last 25 minutes, quick explanation. The Miami Dolphins might make a desperate blockbuster trade. And the reason why I'm getting on the people that's trying to say it's clickbait is because I took time to actually write my notes and study this as a content creator those people who don't appreciate what we do, this is why I don't rock with y'all. I allow you in the audience because it's okay. But I don't, that's why I like calling y'all out, because I took the time. I took the time to outline that Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel, and that front office is desperate. The last time we seen a staff desperate like this was the Houston Texans. And what did they do in their desperation? They made a blockbuster trade to try to save their job, and it didn't even work. The Miami Dolphins are now in that position. And that's why I made the stream that the Dolphins might make a desperate blockbuster trade. But if I'm going to make a stream talking about that, I'm going to also say, well, what would they trade for if they did? Well, what's struggling? We just lost Tyreek. A.J. Brown is a good option right now. I don't want us to do it, but if they were to make some desperation trade, A.J. Brown needs to be the guy to try to keep us afloat from what we tried to make. Also, pass rush ain't living up to his expectations. Go get Hendrickson if you're going to do that. That's what the title is. So to say it's clickbait, you're ignorant. It's that simple. Go back and listen, and you'll see that. That's it. That's all I'm saying. And guess what? Hit dogs always holler. So I already know I'm going to get the emails. Yeah, man, I unsubscribe because of that. Hit dogs holler. Peace. I'm taking the time to deliver content. I'm taking the time to inform people, because the one thing that I love is whenever I give y'all these examples, and if a blockbuster trade does come through, it ain't got to be these two. It's just a desperate trade come through. I'm going to go live and be like, why y'all surprised? I told y'all that they might be desperate. Because y'all same clickbait people, you don't even hit the like button. You don't even hit the like button. So stop that mess. Stop that mess, all right? But anywho, well, let me see if I can load this for y'all real quick. Put it in my B-roll. All right, trade for what? 4-13. Now you got the Jets fans who coming in here talking trash. Listen. First of all, Lowski, when are you ever going to have enough? When is enough going to be enough? Like, I can't believe you are still talking after the Miami Dolphins beat y'all. After my Dolphins beat y'all, you still talking? Like, for real? Come on, bro. Any Jets fan out there in the world, you should be, especially to a Dolphin fan, you should be silent for at least 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Might even be 8 until we play you again. Might even be 8. Yeah, I know you'll never stop because you live in more delusion than us. You live in more delusion than us. Talking after you done lost to the dog. We trash, but y'all lost. Right? Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. We will be 6-11. Y'all give me our record prediction in the comment section. Tony, you catching this smoke all year. Yeah. See, that's all you got to hold on to. Give me your new updated record prediction in the chat, all right? Anyway, while I'm reading those record predictions, I'm about to get out of here because the 4th and Forever is about to start in literally 2 minutes, so I got to hurry up and get on over there. 4th and Forever is about to start in 2 minutes. Y'all come on over there because we're going to be talking about Dylan Gabriel starting. We got a lot to talk about. Me, Dan, Kobe, Richie's in LA right now for the Rams 49ers event that Roundtable Sports is hosting. So y'all come over to 4th and Forever right now. and let's have a ball, man. Let's have a good time. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. I'll see y'all soon. Peace. I'm out.